Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about who narcissists are attracted to. Are narcissists attracted to losers, or are they attracted to strong people? Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but narcissists are not attracted to losers. They are attracted to powerful.
So that is true for the most part, y'all. And if you're new here, I'm actually a clinically diagnosed narcissist. You do get a lot of people who think that narcissistic people are attracted to weak people and whatnot, because at the end of a relationship with a narcissistic person, you might not look as strong as you once were. You might not look as powerful as you once were. But narcissistic people, especially like myself, I do like strong, independent people. I do like people who don't necessarily need me. And some narcissists like a challenge. They don't like people who just roll over and just take everything that they dish out. So originally, it might have been your strength that attracted the narcissistic person to you. You might also have been a strong, vulnerable person going through grief or loss or something like that. But narcissistic people just, me personally, don't like what some people would consider a weak person. Kind of like the bigger you are, the harder you fall type mindset sometimes, y'all. Hope.
Some people see narcissists as demons. Some people may see people with insecure attachment styles as plagued with some type of demonic, predisposition. The reality of it is, psychologically speaking, we're all wounded, broken people. And the number one relationship in our lives should be the relationship with ourselves, the intrapersonal relationship. This is the part of ourselves that we must conquer in order to be of value, not only to ourselves primarily, but to others. Now, if we don't do the work, what happens is relationships turn into psychological, bio-spiritual mirrors. We're starting to look at what's happening, in that relationship from the perspective of this person did it to me. Or this person, if they would just be this way, not seeing those as opportunities to see ourselves. When we say, you get who you are, it goes even deeper than that. I mean, like I said, Patrick Carnes did the work and said, hey, we bond traumatically, right? We're trauma bonding. We are bonding traumatically. Any clinician worth their salt will tell you that our central nervous systems are relating, right? So it blows my mind when we turn it into this kind of external thing that's over there. And I'm not saying there aren't forces that, outside forces that can affect us. What I'm saying is, I believe if there's any external forces affecting us, it is drawn to us by that which is familiar to it. And I would posit the darkness in you calls in the darkness to torment you. I believe that. Let's get even deeper. In the intricate web of intimate relationships, we often encounter forces that seem to disrupt harmony and provoke emotional or spiritual upheavals. These challenges, sometimes experienced as relationship demons, can appear as overwhelming adversarial energies that push individuals to the brink. However, could it be possible that these very forces, though seemingly dark and destructive, are divinely permitted for the purpose of profound growth? Right? The thesis of tonight's show, that the devil sent them, but God okayed the experience for your greater good, invites us to reconsider the trials we face in relationships through a deeply metaphysical, theological, and psychological lens. By drawing on the works of all the greats, you already know who we dealing with: Krishnamurti, Paramahansa Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar, Iyanla Van Zant, and so on and so on and so forth. We're going to tap into everybody's work. Dr. David R. Hawkins, Thomas Campbell, everybody, Wayne Dyer. We're going to go to everybody's work. But to kind of frame this for you, because so many people, I'm trying to tell you, the best way to keep the devil in you in power is to blame the devil outside of you. I don't know who I'm talking to. Have you ever watched those Exorcist movies? In those Exorcist movies, them damn possessed little kids will always check that priest for something evil they did. Am I lying? They'd be like, hey, you remember that person you killed during the exorcism? They always check. You remember that woman you was with? Huh? Do you get what I'm saying? I believe darkness attracts itself, and I believe light attracts itself. And nobody is completely dark, and nobody is completely light, but when you have those conflicting energies, you attract the same conflicting energy. That's my thought on it. At the core of this exploration lies the concept of divine permission for spiritual trials. This is why I said, if your relationship lasts over 5-10 years long, right? Great. You don't call them milestones. You call them trial stones. Y'all remember the episode we did called Trial Stones? I think the trials and tribulations that you are able to overcome with whatever tool you may have found deep within your spirit is the purpose that relationship has. It shows you. You didn't know. Man, I didn't know I could dig that deep. I didn't know. My family is digging deep right now. They didn't know that they could wake up the next day after their 26-year-old son committed suicide. They didn't know that there was a day after that. But as I'm checking in, how you feeling, man? It was tough those first, but we working through it. We're getting through it. We're finding our way through. Do you understand what I'm saying? Trial stones up levels the spirit. But many people don't want to go through no trial stone. They want everything to be soft and sweet and easy, and I don't have to work for the gift of peace. I want peace to be a gift from the outside in. Do you understand? The biblical narrative in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 14, tells the story of Saul, who, after falling out of divine favor, was tormented by an evil spirit that was sent by the Lord. This troubling passage raises profound questions about the nature of suffering in intimate relationships. Does God control evil relationship spirits? The symbolic interpretation of such events suggests that even adversity, seemingly born from malevolent forces, can serve a higher purpose. Could it be that what we perceive as relationship demons are not external evil forces, but rather internal challenges reflecting our own spiritual deficiencies? Krishnamurti's teachings on self-awareness resonates here, encouraging us to perceive external conflicts as mirrors of our unresolved internal state. Spiritual trials in relationships may also stem from what Carl Jung termed the shadow self, the unconscious parts of our psyche that we refuse to acknowledge. Jungian shadow work emphasizes that when we ignore these aspects of ourselves, they manifest in destructive ways, often projected onto our partners. Is the inner enemy in relationships, the enemy in me, simply a reflection of the unhealed parts of ourselves seeking transformation? Right? From this perspective, the adversarial forces we experience in relationships are not external demons, but the unhealed trauma and unmet, unrequited desires that we project onto others. David Deida, author of The Way of the Superior Man's exploration of masculinity and feminine energies in relationships, posits that we are often drawn into relationships with those who reflect our inner wounds, offering us an opportunity for healing and transformation. Most people don't want to date a wound that they spent so much time trying to bury. They want to date the opposite of the wound so that they can gracefully ignore what's gnawing at them from the inside. This is why I say codependence needs supply too. Oh, eesh. Lord have mercy. We got callers on the line. Should I keep going or should I get to the callers? Should I keep going or should I get to the callers? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. We're in here cooking right now. We on fire. Tonight's topic is crazy. Let's get these callers up in here. Nazarene X, you've been on the longest. Let's go. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, nephew?
I appreciate being able to jump in here and continuously learn. Man, I love being able to talk smack before the devil, our enemies and all of that. Man, it's beautiful, man. My thought is the devil, Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub,
whatever.
You know what I'm saying? All them, they ain't the only ones with a voice. And really, that whole point of Job, I just quickly went back through it, and it's like, I mean, look, when integrity means something to you, that's all God asks you to run with. It's like your ignorance is what's allowing the devil's wishes to come true in your life. Like, you don't gotta it's one of the things like, yo, how your man say, just slow it down. Slow down. Take your time, young man. Like, look, if I'm having an ongoing conversation with my Lord and say, my creator, my almighty heartbeat, my reality, my sanity, and I get a sensation that something is off, I'm going to be consistently checking in with that energetic force, no matter what's going on, right? So while the devil's wishes and that's another thing, man, they say, Satan is the actual coward. Like, he going to send somebody else to do it. Sometimes I be low-key begging for Satan himself to show up so that he can leave my people alone. Because I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But that's another, that's like, yo, come on, man. It's just,
come on, warrior.
I don't like giving them that credit because it's like, low-key, I'm a shapeshifter too. You feel me? Like, Moses came through with a staff. It's just that his snake ate the Pharaoh's It is what it is. Like, I ain't saying we can't do magic. It's like we can get to it, but I think what the whole essence of Job was, it's like, I don't know the original tongue other than love. Like I say, love is my native language. That's all that we know as beings of love. I say it from this side, right? So when I read a passage or when I'm presented with a truth that has a certain resonance, like, yo, well, Job was found to be such a being of high esteem before God Almighty's eyes, was because he's so-called, I think the word is eschewed evil. And I find it interesting without necessarily knowing. It's just a vibe. Like, all right, that's not saying that he was an evil being, or I don't think that meant that Job was opposed to being seen as evil in somebody else's eyes. It's just, look, he that's not what type of time he was on.
Job was a good dude. Job was the best example at that time. And it begs the question, was God trying to prove a point, which would be pointless, being the omniscient, all-knowing, omnipowerful, all-powerful, omniscient, or omniscient is all-knowing, omnipotent is the all-powerful. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the point would be moot. Like, God doesn't have to make a point. God doesn't have to prove a point. So,
but this is my thing, huh?
Yeah.
If I may, what I believe is that, again, putting it back how you say, like, okay, the devil sends something through, right? With God being God, again, it's kind of that cynical, unpopular opinion of mine, but I think God is with the business too. Like, because really, the devil is influencing Job's circle at the same time. Like, his wife was the one telling him to cuss God out while he was going through such and such.
Well, let's go. Maybe was God trying to show Job that she wasn't the one?
I mean, it's a way to look at it. So you like, you know what I'm saying, man? You got, hey, look, we going righteously. It's all about righteousness. Like, let the heavens come down from above. Let the earth soak up this righteousness. Like, there will be restoration.
Man.
Now, as long as you stay in the pocket.
Man.
Like,
hey, listen.
Ooh.
Hey, Nazarene. I appreciate the fire, man. When we come forward, we going to Mountain View, Hawaii. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got Lamert Park in the building. We definitely going to get to Lamert Park as well. Trust me, we got a lot to talk about. Mountain View up next.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, is Sierra hanging with Janet? I don't think so. A little bit though. Like, Sierra record-wise is kind of hanging.
This beat is automatic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh. With my body so melodic.
Not really.
This beat rolls right through my chest. Everybody, Martin, Poppy came to party. Grab somebody, work your body, work your body. Let me see you 1, 2 step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor.
I think Janet could have sang these too.
So now we're going to talk about the subjective experience of what happens when the codependent falls in love with the narcissist and the narcissist falls in love with the codependent. They are both swept up in a dream of true love. Neither intend to be unhappy, neither intend, the codependent does not intend to be in a relationship, marry someone who's going to ignore their needs, marginalize them, treat them as invisible, and to not take care of their needs. No, they are attracted to people that spark their desire. Codependents are attracted to EMMs who light their desire up. They're attracted to confident, assertive, aggressive, sensual, strong, vibrant, boastful, a little bit arrogant. How many of us know through our clients or ourselves the pattern of the codependent where they like the edgy person, they like the assertive sexual person, they like the person who is strong and sexy and domineering. The codependent, when they meet the emotional manipulator, responds to all of these positive traits. How many of us, a raise of hands, have worked with codependents that are always falling for someone that seems so wonderful and sexy in the beginning, and of course they find out later it doesn't work out, and then if they do break up, they fall for the same type of person. I had this one client who actually returned to me after 5 years later, and she fell back in her pattern. She always fell for these men who were narcissistic, and they always cheated, lied, abused her, drank too much, smoked too much weed. And finally, she stopped therapy because she just could not break the pattern. But one day before she stopped, she said, I met this guy, and she was so proud, because she's a little bit codependent. She wants to make her therapist happy. You're going to be so proud of me. I met this guy who's perfect. He's got a job. He has kids, and he's divorced, because before that she would date men who were married. He's a coach. He goes to his kids' recitals. He's honest. He doesn't hardly drinks. He doesn't do any drugs.
Are you guys listening to the great Ross Rosenberg, author of the book The Human Magnet Syndrome? Has any of you out there in radio world bought this book? It's incredible. In many Eastern traditions, relationships are seen as arenas for karmic resolution. According to the Hindu and Buddhist beliefs, we are bound by karmic ties that manifest through the people we meet and the relationships we form. Can intimate relationships serve as a battlefield for unresolved karmic cycles or enmeshments? This notion aligns with Thomas Campbell's theories of my big toe, theory of everything, where he suggests that our reality is a simulation designed for the evolution of consciousness. From this perspective, relationship trials could be viewed as karmic lessons meant to help us transcend our ego and move to a higher state of being. Could our ego be our inner Beelzebub? Is that the devil that is attacking us? Could our ego, our unchecked ego, or maybe even deeper, could our reluctance to be good parents to our unrequited wounds be the source, right, of fuel for the devil that lives in us? I know people don't want to hear that put that way. Yeah. But could that be the source? The appearance of relationship challenges, therefore, could signify the unfolding of unresolved karmic patterns or even deep-seated soul contracts. Iyanla Van Zant's teachings on spiritual healing emphasizes that adversity in relationship often comes as a lesson, forcing us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. Let me get my brother in here from Hawaii. John, Mountain View, what are your thoughts, man?
Woo, mercy. Wow.
Is that what it is?
Let me try and put it this way. The Bible reminds me of a word that says, all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. But at the same time, if you're reading Isaiah 45, verse 7, it hits a little different, don't it?
It does. It does, doesn't it? Come on, John. Hey, it does. Nobody wants to see that God is behind the disruption for your elevation.
Well, again, choosing purpose, which again, called according to a purpose, and the purpose is you finding yours.
Wait, John, stay with me. You're going to be with me for a second. Mike, we're going to get to you, Lamert Park, when I come forward. My goodness, we just getting started. Let's go.
1, 2 step. I love it. 1, 2 step. Everybody 1, 2 step. We about to get it on. Like this. It don't matter to me. We can dance slow. Whichever way the beat drop, our bodies will slow. Swing it over here, Mr. DJ.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Former President Barack Obama is being honored at the West Point Military Academy. The ex-commander-in-chief is receiving the prestigious Sylvanus Thayer Award, which recognizes citizens whose national service embodies the West Point motto of duty, honor, country. Obama will be the 5th former president to earn this distinction, with the previous recipients being Dwight Eisenhower, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush. Sean Diddy Combs is looking to move to a New Jersey jail. The hip-hop mogul, who was denied bail for a second time on Wednesday, is behind bars at the infamous Metropolitan Detention Center in Sunset Park in Brooklyn. The 54-year-old is in a special section of the jail, which offers an extra layer of security for high-profile individuals, and that could mean he's limited to use of the library and phone. His lawyers say that will make it difficult for him to be prepared for trial. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
The best nugs are now even better. Wendy's new saucy nugs take the nugs you love and sauce them up in bold flavors, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and spicy ghost pepper. Try them all today. For a whole new way to nug, it's gotta be Wendy's. A participating U.S. Wendy's.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money Talk. Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
October 2nd is California Clean Air Day. It's your chance to ride Metro for free. You'll be helping make the air cleaner and our roads less crowded. Let's clear the air together and make Los Angeles healthier. Check out metro.net for more info.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, we did that 30 years ago when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%. Lung cancer 42%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
Watch out! You got me!
The galaxy is safe once again.
In the pretend universe, kids play with pretend guns. In the real world, it's up to us to make sure they don't get their hands on a real gun. If you have a gun in the house, keep it locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Janet is winning. Boy, Janet. Oof. That girl was a bowl of cream of wheat with cinnamon and nutmeg, butter. Yeah, Team Janet, boy. Woo. Hell yeah, I crushed on Penny. Love me some Penny from Different Strokes. I was like, Willis don't deserve her.
It's one of the most common, biggest mistakes that so many people make after a toxic relationship. I think the majority of you would agree with the fact that leaving a toxic relationship is difficult. Whether you're the one that left or you were discarded, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's painful. Oftentimes we realize that we're left with a huge hole inside of us. Kind of like that. And that hole is very painful because it's full of loneliness. It's full of feeling unworthy, not good enough. And so it's an intense amount of pain inside of us. And there's nothing that any of us want to do more than not feel that pain. So we try to heal or overcome all of these powerful emotions, and we do it the wrong way. It's one of the most common, biggest mistakes that so many people make after a toxic relationship. We don't want to feel this pain. We don't want to feel this loneliness. We don't want to feel so unworthy. So we start looking for someone else to provide us with those feelings. Someone else says, Michelle, you're valuable. And all of a sudden, I'm valuable because I'm being validated by someone else. Therefore, I feel valuable. The problem with that is the second that person doesn't see value in me, I suddenly don't see value in me. And that hole comes back again. The danger is that toxic people like narcissists, sociopaths, and even borderlines can spot that hole in us from a really long distance away. And they provide exactly what we think we need to fill that hole. They become exactly what we have been dying to feel inside. We have been dying to feel loved, cared about, seen, adored for our individuality. We have been longing for somebody to see value in us, and here it is. The problem.
Could that be your demon? Could that be the demon right there? Could that be the attack on your relationship? You wanting it from outside of you. Could that be the demon? The demonic force? The principality on high? Could that be it? The absence of self-love is the ultimate demon in our relationships. I dare you to challenge it. Call me, 1-800-920-1580. We got John from Mountain View, Hawaii. John, get back in here, man. Bring that fire.
Well, maybe not something that people would like to hear, but if you're choosing a purpose, which again, God could use anything to elevate whatever he has going on, then what is the reason for the choice you have to make for your purpose?
Go deeper. Say more.
I'll say it in a different way. The relationship that you choose to be in, regardless of the human being that you choose to be with, is still going to have you on the same purpose-driven goal.
So you mean sometimes God gives you what you want so you could learn to want more for yourself? Sometimes you got to get it.
But even
is that what it is?
But even if you got what you got and you was brought to the low terms of you disrespected what you wanted and even got what you wanted but disrespected it
I've
all
been
at
there.
the same time.
Yes, I've been there. Yes.
So where is the lesson being learned at? The lesson is being learned in the tough side of any situation.
Right. In the struggle piece.
Well, again,
in the difficult moment. In the valley.
Yeah, you're talking about Jesus. You're talking about Jesus who got tested. And this is the Son of God who sat amongst the sons of God, even when that conversation with Job took place. But stood on this earth dealing with things as we do as human beings, and even chose the better light. It was the madness that he went through that elevated him. It was the choices that he made in those processes that brought him to the place where he needed to be. And that came the elevation.
Oh, well, John, let me hit you upside the head. Wait a minute. Let me hit you upside the head. We know he was elevated. He got everything back times something, right? Got everything back. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Job appreciated the process that led him to a better life than where he started before the trials?
Well, okay, you say Job, I say Jesus, but we're still talking about the same thing.
Exactly.
We're talking about the purpose of going through.
Right.
I'm reminded of going through special forces. I did not make it, but it was the spirit that I needed to have, and they was trying to break me of my ego, my fear, all the things that limit me, so that I could propel myself to the doggone evolution of being the toughest man alive. But you still got to go through that process, and everybody yelling in your face, and everybody cussing you out, and everybody telling you to move faster, and everybody telling you what your purpose is, and if you don't know your purpose, it's to win. And if your mindset is not focused genuinely and ultimately on that goal, you will not get to the elevation you need to be at, or even the one you want.
Right. Nah, and you're right. Attila just pointed out this is a common theme in the Bible. Joseph, Moses, Christ, Job, David. Everybody got to go through hell to make it to the gates of heaven. I'm sorry. Everybody.
So again, don't run from your test, run through it. I think it was Bruce Lee who said, you may be in a tough time. Don't pray for me getting out of it. Pray for the strength to go through it.
That's right. Don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. That's the Bruce Lee quote. I got you, brother. Hey, man, let me just say, man, it is an absolute pleasure, man, to know you, through the radio waves, man. You are a solid human being. You, Reggie, Truemonger, Heru Ali, Nazarene, all you brothers in here, man, that contribute, Reverend L, all of you, sisters and brother Nikki, Attila, Nzinga, Mimi. I don't get mad if I don't say your name, but all of y'all beautiful people that come in here and really lay it flat every week, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Well, much love to all the mentioned and unmentioned.
Yes.
But at the same time, blessings to all. Love you, Zoe. Thank you for bringing this show up. But there got to be a part 2, a part 3, and a part 4.
I got you, brother. I'll bring it back one day. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for bringing Mountain View, Hawaii in the building. When I come forward, we're going to come home. We coming home. We going to Lamert Park. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys. Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet? Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and Sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys?
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR on all 2024 Silverado 1500, Blazer EV, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Colorado models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 12.7%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 9/30/24.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy.
What do getting nervous on a date, being upset that someone isn't texting you back, and not being able to get over a breakup all have in common? Well, a few minutes ago, something really cool happened live on my members webinar. I was asked a question by one of my members, and I said something that is going to shed light on many different situations you could be facing right now and is going to change your mindset forever. So check it out right now, and I will see you at the end.
I want to play the clip, but I want to get the callers in. But before I get the callers in, there was, and I watch all of these movies because I'm not afraid of them. I want to see how they evolve. And they never do. They tell the same story that was told in 1973 when they did The Exorcist. 1973. All these Exorcist movies are exactly the same. But what's interesting is, what's my guy who played Hannibal Lecter? Anthony Hopkins. He was in one of these Exorcist movies called The Rise. Oh, no, called The Rite. And in this movie, he gets possessed. He's a priest, but he gets possessed. And he gets possessed because God is using him to convert a doubtful priest. This priest is scientific and none of that stuff is real. I can explain it psychologically. So basically, God allows him to be, him being Anthony Hopkins' character, to be possessed. So he can build the faith of this young priest to join the corps of exorcists. You see, the Vatican exorcists. So God, almost in a Job fashion, sent Anthony Hopkins through it. But then another way you can look at that particular movie, there was a girl who was pregnant, and Anthony Hopkins was there to exorcise a demon out of her, which turns out to be the devil. They say, why did the devil, torment this girl and get into this girl? Come to find out, the girl was raped by her father, and the baby she was carrying was his. So the trauma of the wound was the magnet that caused the possession. And then this was the one where Anthony Hopkins got possessed by the very same demon that actually built the faith up in the younger priest, and then he had to exorcise that demon out of Anthony Hopkins. Very interesting movie. But I can see why certain people will say, oh, somebody with BDP, or somebody with maladaptive or insecure attachment style, or somebody with NPD, these are demons. And I feel like we do model toxicity in our childhood, and we wind up bringing that stuff into the relationship for resolution. Mike, Lamert Park, get in here. What are your thoughts?
Hey, what's up, so this is Mike from Lamert Park. What's going on?
What's up, good brother? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on something you talked about the other night where you were talking about spirituality and how to access it and get closer to it, and why I think some men have a problem with it. Because men, I think a lot of times associate that getting close with your spirituality as softness. But what I find that the opposite is true. Spirituality requires strength, it requires dedication, discipline, and focus. None of those things come easy.
Right.
You have to work those things.
I totally agree with you, 100%. Man, I wish you would have called in the other night when we was doing that topic, brother.
Yeah, I know.
Man,
I was at the studio for the viewing party last week.
Man, I should have been here, but you know, it was my day off. It was my day off. I couldn't walk back in here on my day off. But let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, I feel you.
You got a seat at the table anytime you want to call in here, Mike, so I expect to hear from you more often, okay?
Okay, man, that sounds good.
Much love, brother. All right, let's get D from Detroit in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I wanted to know, do you believe that was pretty much cruel and unusual punishment for Job, but at the same time necessary for refinement and reproofing, because that's just like gold has to go through, like I think they call it a metallurgical process for people that, like will things down or whatever, deal with all that kind of stuff. So, like, if it was like cruel and unusual, it was necessary for him to get another family too.
So you think it was necessary for whatever that happened to him to happen to him in order for him to up-level in life?
Not precisely. Not to level up in life, because we really don't have confirmation that he was satisfied with that.
So, right, we don't know if he missed his wife or he missed his children that he had before. We don't know the rest of the story. That's a great point.
That's what I was saying. Like, it could be a source that tells you, like, about, like, lead poisoning and things like that, how it makes you have Legionnaire disease, or your skin is, like, your first line of defense. So if that's been attacked, then you know that what came out of your skin, which is your DNA, which is your children, and who you bonded with, which is your wife, I think it was 5 children, they went up in flames, and at the same time, could have been a wood that had him sick. Could have been a family, the DNA, the genes. When people are too close together in DNA, they tend to have, disabilities and cognitive, behavioral problems, I would say. I'm not going to say just
well, no, I got you, and I definitely appreciate you calling in. We got to push forward, but we appreciate the insight. Thank you for bringing Detroit in the building. But let's get deeper. All right? There is alchemy in adversity, right? The trials we face in relationships, though often framed as battles against dark forces, may indeed be divinely sanctioned for our greater good. By confronting our inner demons, whether through the lens of Carl Jung or karmic resolution or spiritual warfare, we are offered a unique opportunity for growth and transformation. What role does God play in the orchestration of trials within intimate partnerships? Perhaps these trials are not punishments, but invitations to deepen our understanding of love, both for ourselves, primarily for ourselves, and then as an added benefit for others. Transforming adversity into a path towards spiritual enlightenment. I think that's part of the spiritual purpose of relating. In exploring this multifaceted, complex topic of spiritual attacks within relationships, it is crucial to delve into the profound teachings and offerings that we shared with you tonight, whether it's Dr. David R. Hawkins, Krishnamurti, Amit Goswami, and all the many others, Babette Rothschild, Ross Rosenberg, all the people that we talk about. I think you should go on a journey to understand that the key to avoiding some of these things is rooted in the cultivation and the acceptance of knowledge of self, who you are, where you came from, what you modeled, what was good that you modeled, what was negative and or challenging that you modeled. These things must be discovered, because by the time you're an adult and you get into relationships, if they are not discovered by you beforehand, they will be mirrored back to you during your adult relationships. Many of us don't even understand the concept of forgiveness until we get hurt. Right? Why not have a crash course in that understanding before you've ever gone through anything? Right? Resentment and resistance could be seen as a demon. Right? Inflexibility, spiritual intransigence. It's heavy. Listen, I started the conversation. It's really up to you to finish it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I'm done for this week, but I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back next week with a whole new slew of slappers. Deuces!